All right, so we'll start in, let's see, Baddha Konasana. Speaking of Baddha Konasana, and have a block. So just sit, we'll move into Sukhasana after this, so you can sit on your height for Sukhasana. But we'll just start in Baddha Konasana for a moment. Extending the groins out to the knees. And also pressing your hands down to lift your chest. So get lift and length in the torso. Broadness across the top chest. And if you can put a block in between your feet. Either the narrow way, if that's enough extension, or you can do it the midway. And try to get your feet even on the block. So your feet are pressing evenly into the block. And try to maintain that extension without hardening. So it's a little bit more challenging because it's a little bit of a wider space that you're creating there in the pelvis and groins. If you can't extend the knees out to the side and down and try to relax in the inner groins, there probably are some sensations. Try to maintain the lift in the torso. And then you can release the block and take the knees up and stretch the legs out for a moment in Dandasana. And situate yourself on your blanket support. And then you can cross your legs. You can cross the right shin in front of the left. Just sit for a moment, feeling maybe a little more ease in the inner groins in this pose. Allow the knees to extend down towards the feet. Allow the legs to feel heavy, grounded, rooted, supported. And from there, lift the spine up. Spread from the center of the chest out to the outer shoulders as you lift the chest. Allow the back of the neck to be long and the throat soft. The jaw soft. Release the tongue. And before you close your eyes, we'll take our hands into Namaskar, pressing the palms evenly into one another, maintaining the broadness across the top chest. Try to draw the elbows back and down. And then you can allow the eyes to close. And allow there to be a spreading from the center of the inner eye to the outer eye, out towards the temples. A softening of the eyes, a spreading of the eyes. A quieting of the eyes. Perhaps you'll feel the eyes receding back, away from the eyelids, away from the screen for a moment. And with that lift in the chest and the softness in the face and eyes, we'll chant Om 3 times together. So we'll draw a breath in. Bow your head towards your hands. Release your hands to your thighs. Lift your head up and open the eyes. And then stretch your legs out in Dandasana for a moment. Just opening the backs of the knees, lifting the chest, stretching the feet forward. And then we'll come up to standing and have a strap nearby. And you can move your blankets out of the way for the moment. And we'll stand in Tadasana. Stand evenly on your feet. And you can put your strap, you can wrap it over your neck or put it down to the side. We won't use it for the first couple, so just have it nearby. So stand evenly on your feet, spread the toes, take the weight back towards your heels a little bit as you lift up on the thighs and take the top of the thighs back. Lift up on your abdomen. Lift the center of the chest, spread the collarbones, stretch the arms by the sides. And without swinging the hips forward, we'll take our arms forward and up in Urdhva Hastasana. Still maintaining the weight over the heels, the thighs back, the abdomen back. Keep the length in the back of the neck, the softness in the throat, the face, the jaw, the eyes. Inhale and exhale, lower the arms. And we'll interlace our fingers, right thumb and forefinger on top. Press the palms forward, stretch the elbows. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Again, without shifting the weight in the legs, the feet, try to stay steady on your legs as you take the arms overhead. Take an inhale, exhale, lower the arms, bend the elbows, change the interlace, the left thumb and forefinger on top, and press the palms forward, stretch the elbows, inhale, take the arms overhead. And draw the thighs back, the abdomen back, the lower ribs back. Keep the two sides of the body lifting evenly, the arms lifting evenly. Inhale, exhale, lower the arms, bend the elbows, take the arms down. And we'll take the right arm behind the back and grab the left elbow, and take the left arm behind the back and grab the right elbow. Roll the shoulders back. Actually step the legs wide apart with the arms behind the back. Keep the weight even on the feet and turn the right foot out, the back foot in. I'm sorry, the left foot out. Sorry, you guys do right foot out, left foot in. And try to keep the evenness on the sides of the body as you turn the body to the right. Try to keep the two sides of the body lifting. As you stretch across the front of the left leg, keep the weight in the back edge of the left foot, and then come back to center. Release the arms and take the left arm behind the back and grab the right elbow. And then bend the right arm and grab the left. And then turn the left leg out, the right foot in. And as you take the shoulders back and stretch the elbows down, press the outer right foot into the floor and draw that right hip forward, stretching across the front of the right thigh, the right hip. Keep the two sides of the body evenly lifting up, the shoulders back, and then turn back to center. And step the legs back together. Release the arms down by the sides. And then we'll interlace our hands behind our back and stretch the arms down, thighs back, abdomen back, shoulders back, shoulder blades in. And then with the hands behind the back, turn the pinky side up and extend the palms away from you. But still roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. So lift the sides of the body. You extend the palms down. And then turn the palms around and release the arms behind you. Back down to your sides. And then change the interlace, so the left thumb and forefinger on top as you stretch the backs of the palms down, keeping the chest lifted. Try to keep the webs of the fingers touching. And then turn the palms down and see if you can't catch the pinky side of your hand on your lower back as you stretch the palms down. So if you catch the pinky side of the palm, it helps to keep that palm open as you stretch the arms down. Roll the shoulders back, spread the collarbones, lift the chest, thighs back, abdomen back. And then release the arms and stretch the arms down. And Tadasana. And now we'll use our strap. So we'll do Gomukhasana. So you can have the strap over the left shoulder as you stand in Tadasana. Stretch the right arm up. See that tricep of the right arm is moving in towards the face. And then bend the elbow, keeping the elbow up towards the ceiling as you take the hand down. And then turn the left arm in, internally rotate the left arm as you take that hand behind the back. Keep the shoulders rolling back, keep the two sides of the body even, and the chest lifted as you begin to work your hands towards one another. Got your strap there, so don't collapse the chest to grab the hands, but keep the chest open, keep the broadness across the top chest and the inner shoulder blades moving into the back. Thighs back, abdomen back, lower ribs back, two sides of the body lifting evenly. And then release the arms down into Tadasana. And then you can take your strap over to the other side and reach the left arm up. See that tricep is moving in towards the face. You're externally rotating your arm, and then bend the elbow. Take the hand down in between the shoulder blades, the left elbow up. And then internally rotate your right arm. Take that back of the palm behind your back and begin to work that hand up towards the other hand. but try to maintain the evenness in the sides of the body. Shoulders moving back, elbow in towards the side of the body. Left elbow up towards the ceiling. Shoulders back, shoulder blades in the back, thighs back, abdomen back. Inhale, exhale, release the arms. And you can release the strap. And then Paschimottanasana. So you can start with the hands, fingertips down, and see that the shoulders roll back, the elbows back. And this is one place to stay, or you can turn the palms up the back. So the palms are towards one another, elbows back, shoulders back. And then keeping the hands behind the back, hop the legs apart or step the legs apart so that the feet are wide. Shoulders back, and then turn the right leg out, left foot in, shoulders back. Send the weight of the body towards that outer left heel, left thigh back, right hip back, left hip forward, shoulders back, chest lifted. And if you can, lift the top of the chest so that it begins to tip the chin up towards the ceiling. And then keeping the lift in the chest, turn back to center. And turn the left leg and foot out, right foot in. Square the hips. Take the weight into the outer edge of the right foot. Take that right thigh back. Take the left hip back. And the right hip forward. As you roll the shoulders back and lift the chest while extending the tops of the buttocks down, lifting the chest so much that it just tips your chin up towards the ceiling. And then keep the chest lifted, but you can look forward and turn the feet back to center. Step or hop the feet back to Tadasana. And without wriggling, turn the palms down and extend the fingers back down to Tadasana. Extend the elbows. Still the chest lifted, shoulders back. And we'll do Adho Mukha Svanasana. If you have a wall and can turn your hands out at the wall and do it that way, great. If not, you can just do Adho Mukha Svanasana. Without the wall support. So thumb and forefinger at the wall. Roots of the fingers pressing evenly. Arms externally rotated, shoulder blades moving into the back. Lift the hips up. Use the hands to stretch the arms and stretch the armpits. And stretch the sides of the body up towards the hips. Keep the abdomen back. Create space between the abdomen and the thighs. As you roll the inner upper thighs in, take the tops of the thighs back. And spread from the center of the knee. The top half goes up towards the hips. The bottom half goes down towards the heels as you reach the heels down to the floor. And then when you're ready, you can bend the knees, come down. And we'll come onto our abdomen, and we'll use, we'll do one thing and then we'll use these blocks out to the side. So I'll show you what we're gonna do. You can either do it with the leg towards the wall, or if you don't have an easy wall, you can just have the block on the floor. You just have to watch out for slipping and sliding. So we'll start by lying down on our abdomen, and we'll just take the knee out to the side to start. And this is a pretty simple extension. And then again, if you have a wall, it might help you a little bit so that the block doesn't move, but then we'll take the foot onto a block if that's appropriate. It's a little bit more of an extension of that inner groin. So if the bent knee was already enough of a groin pelvis stretch, then you can stay there. Otherwise, we'll move with the leg onto a block out to the side. All right, so get your block set up, either at the wall or in the middle of the room, and then lie down on your abdomen. And we'll take the right knee out to the side. And before you come down or rest down, extend the left leg, the top of the thigh, extend the top of the thigh back as you stretch the left leg back. And come up onto your forearms a little bit and extend the abdomen, so you're getting length in the abdomen before you come down. You can rest your forehead on your hands if that's comfortable. And then you can take the knee back to meet its other leg and take the left knee out to the side. So it's about at hip height, knee out to the side. And before you rest down, extend the thigh of the right leg back, lengthening the front of that leg. And then come up onto your forearms a little bit more and extend the abdomen so it's evenly stretched forward. And then you can come down and place the forehead on your hands. And then you can stretch the left leg back to meet the right. And then you can come into it the same way. So you can bend your right knee up and out to the side. And then you can extend the leg onto the block out to the side. So just hip height or not quite. If it's too much to take the leg at hip height, then you can change the angle a little bit of the leg out to the side so it's a little bit less than 90 degrees. And then come up onto your forearms, stretch the top of the left thigh back. So stretch the front of the thigh back towards the foot as you then press into your forearms and lengthen the chest and abdomen forward. And then you can come down, resting your head on your forehead on your hands. And I'll try to allow that inner groin to lengthen. So you're not just gripping and holding it. If that's the case, then maybe take a little bit of a less of an angle. You can even lower your foot off the block if it's too much, too intense of a stretch. And then you can bend your knee so the knee comes out to the side, and then bring the right leg to meet the left. If you need to turn around or move your block, you can do that. Otherwise, you'll extend the left knee out to the side first. And then extend the left leg out to the side so the inner edge of the left foot is on your block. And before you come down, come up onto your forearms and extend the top of the right thigh back. The right leg stretches back. And the chest and abdomen stretches forward. So you get length in the torso before you come down and rest the forehead. And try to keep that pelvis moving towards level so the hips are roughly in the same plane, and try to soften into the extension of the leg out to the side. And then bend the knee, take the knee out to the side, and then take the legs together. And we'll stay on our abdomen for a couple of poses. So take the hands back by the sides of the waist and extend the front of the thighs as you stretch the legs back. And with the arms back, stretch the arms back and lift the legs, Shalabhasana. Shoulders back. Try to move the upper back into the body as you lengthen the tops of the buttocks towards the heels and reach the legs and arms back. And then lower your head and arms and legs and rest for a moment. And then we'll take our arms out to the sides. So stretch the arms from the shoulders as you lengthen the tops of the thighs towards the feet, and lift the legs and lift the arms. Again, moving the upper back in, moving the thoracic spine in towards the body as you reach the legs back, like Superman. And then lower the arms, take the head down and rest. Take the legs down. And now take the arms overhead. I guess this is more like Superman with the palms down. Stretch the legs back, stretch the feet back, stretch the tops of the buttocks towards the heels. Maintain that length in the lower back as you inhale and lift the arms. Try to lift them up by the ears as you reach the arms forward, lengthening from the armpit to the elbow. As you reach the legs back, lengthen from the backs of the knees to the heels. Inhale, exhale, lower the arms and legs and rest. And we'll do Makarasana. So you'll extend The arms forward with the arms overhead, elbows forward as you bend the elbows. This is crocodile pose. And we'll interlace our hands. You can do the right thumb and forefinger on top behind your head like you do in Shirshasana and headstand. So take the palms behind the head and then extend the legs back. Extend the tops of the thighs, tops of the buttocks down towards the heels, and extend from the armpits to the elbows as you lift the elbows and lift the legs. So really lifting from the elbows, extending from the armpits to the elbows. Try to move that upper back into the back as you reach the legs back. Inhale and exhale, lower the arms and legs and rest. And one more time now, you'll interlace the left thumb and forefinger on top. Extend the elbows forward. So the elbows stay shoulder width apart. The elbows don't come wide. And with the left thumb and forefinger on top, take the hands, the palms to the back of the head. Stretch the tops of the thighs back towards the feet. And then draw the elbows in and up and lift your elbows, lift your head. Stretch the legs back and lift the legs. Try to feel like you're extending from the navel of the sides of the body towards the elbows, and the navel sides of the body down towards the outer feet. Lift the head and lift the legs. And then lower the head, lower the legs, rest the forehead. And then push yourself up onto your hands and knees. We'll take blocks to the front edge of our sticky mat. And then we'll kneel in the middle of our mat. And I will lift you up. So we'll do Parigasana. So the mat is widthway with the blocks at the front of the mat. And you'll kneel in the center of your sticky mat, tops of the thighs, press down. And just like lying prone, we'll stretch the front of the body, stretch the top fronts of the thighs, and then bend the right knee first out to the side and extend from the groin to the knee. Keep that left thigh over the left knee, right knee over the right ankle, torso towards the front, sides of the body lifting, shoulders back, shoulder blades into the back. Feel that extension, and then take the knee back to the other knee, kneeling, and bend the left knee out to the side. Stay upright over the right knee, right hip in line with the right knee. Extend from the inner left groin to the inner left knee as the knees over the ankle. Move that outer left hip forward as you lift the two sides of the body, shoulders back, chest lifted. And then take the knee back to center, and we'll scoot over to the left side of our mat, an inch or two. And we'll take the right knee out to the side again. See that the knees are lined up. And then extend the right leg out to the side. And if you have the block there, you can put the ball of the foot on the block. And keep that right thigh externally rotating. Keep that right outer hip moving forward. Reach the arms out to the sides. You can take the right arm down, left arm up, extending the entire left side of the body. As you inhale and exhale, reach out over the right leg, keeping that left hip in line with the left knee. As you extend, 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 reaching out over the right leg. Stretching the front of the left hip. And then inhale, come back up. You can take your hands on your waist and bend the right knee. Take the knee back under the hip. Scoot over a little bit towards the right now. Keep the sides of the body lifting. Keep the tops of the buttocks moving down towards the knees, and then bend the left knee out to the side. And then extend the left leg out to the side. Put the sole of the foot on the block and see that you're not leaning one way or the other, but that hip is upright. Externally rotating the left leg, that left hip comes forward and underneath. And then reach the arms from the shoulders, and you can take the left hand down, the right arm up. Inhale and exhale and extend, keeping the two sides of the body lengthening as much as possible evenly towards the right left leg. Top chest lifted, shoulder blades into the back, rotating the lower left side of the body towards the ceiling as you extend out over the left leg. Left hip forward, chest back, and then inhale, come back up. Take your hands on your waist, bend the left knee, and take the knee back to kneeling, and you can rest for a moment.
Question: Are is the foot flat or flexed? You know, with the toes under.
Top of the foot is on the floor.
Okay.
All right. Let us take a chair. And if it's on a sticky mat, it should be okay. Meaning you don't need to be at a wall. If you have, does everybody have a bolster? Yeah. So get your bolster and your chair and a couple of blocks. And we'll do Ustrasana, and we'll start with, we're going to try to keep our hips at the chair seat or a couch seat or wherever you are, but we'll keep our hips on the chair seat. And I've got two blocks down here on the medium height, and I was going to put a bolster over them. So it's pretty high, but see that you're still able to keep your pelvis on the chair, and then your bolster will be behind you. And for the first one, especially lifting the sides of the body. So again, the tops of the feet are down, the tops of the shins are down. Lift the sides of the body, lift the chest. And then you shouldn't have to go very far if you have the bolster. And you can keep the fronts of your pelvis on the chair as you press the hands down, roll the shoulders back. And just like in the Parsvottanasana pose, the lift of the chest begins to tip your chin up towards the ceiling. You can press your hands down and feel the lift in the chest as you take your head back. And then you can take your hands on your waist and come back up. So that's a nice gentle-ish way to do the pose, and is totally fine if you are feeling like that's enough back bending for you today, that you want to just stay there. Otherwise, we'll take our blocks to the higher height. So this is not going to be that much further because you're on the high height now. Put them to your outer knees. And you can start again with your fronts of your pelvis on the chair seat. And you can take your hands first onto the chair seat and just gently press down to lift your chest while you maintain your hips on the chair seat. And then with that lift of the chest, then you can reach your arms back. It's a little bit more of a drop there. So you might decide, oh, I want to stick with that bolster. But you can take your hands to the blocks, and then again, keeping the pelvis on the chair seat, press the hands, roll the shoulders back, roll the shoulder blades into the back, and organically let that lift of the chest tip your chin up towards the ceiling and your head back. Tops of the buttocks move towards the knees. And then from the center of the chest, from the top chest, lift yourself back up. And you can rest for a moment. Ustrasana, camel pose. Now, you can either take the blocks down to the next level, or if you know that that's going to be a stretch, you can do the in-between pose where you take your hands down and then you can tilt the blocks a little bit. That's kind of in between the upper block and the lower block, where you, if you're game, can take your blocks down and try that. So again, it's another little drop there, or a relatively significant drop. So start with the pelvis on the chair, press the hands down and lift the side body, lift the chest as you take the shoulders back. And keeping the chest lifted, reach the arms back. Try to maintain the pelvis on the chair. It might come off a little bit as you find the blocks. And then press the hands into the blocks. Lift the pelvis to the chair, lift the sides of the body. Let the lift in the chest begin to take your chin and head back. Press the hands down and use that to help move the shoulder blades into the back. And then from the center of the chest, lift yourself back up. And you can rest. This resting is a good time to turn the toes under if you can, and sort of stretch in the opposite direction. So turn the toes under so you're stretching the tops of the toes. If that's too much, don't worry about it. And then one more time, your choice. If you want to try to take your hands to your feet, you've got your blocks, you've got your bolster. But we're going to try again to keep our, actually, I'm going to put a block in between my feet because that helps me know how wide my feet should be. And it gives me something to press into. And then I'll keep my pelvis on the chair, press my hands down, and lift my chest up, shoulders back. And then with the pelvis on the chair, you can begin to reach the arms back behind you. Reach the arms down, but lift the armpits up, lift the chest up, and then begin to come down to your feet. If your pelvis comes off the chair, press your hands and press the pelvis back to the chair as you lift the chest and take the head back. Move the tops of the buttocks down, the abdomen back, the shoulders back, shoulder blades into the back, and then press the tops of the shins down, lift from the center of the chest to come up. And then if you got the block between your heels, gives you a little bit of height to sit down on. All right, let's remove the chair. And you'll need a block. And we'll come down onto our backs and have the block nearby. Lie down on your block. Make sure you've got enough room in front of you to stretch your legs out before you come down. And we'll start with the feet hip distance. Press the upper arms down, roll the outer shoulders down. The feet are hip width and parallel. And we'll press our arms down and lift our hips up into Chatushpadasana. You can come onto one shoulder and externally rotate the arms to come up higher on the shoulders as you press your feet and lift your hips. And then lengthening the tops of the buttocks. Slowly take your pelvis back down to the floor. And you can keep the openness in the chest. And then again, pressing the arms down, press the feet and lift the pelvis up. Lift the hips up, rolling onto your outer shoulders, externally rotating the arms. Draw the outer hips to the outer knees and lift the hips higher up. And then we'll take our block and place the block on the lowest height underneath our pelvis. And then slowly lengthening the tailbone towards the heels, lower your pelvis onto the block. So it's on the low height, so it should feel somewhat restorative, restful to have the pelvis down. And we'll draw the right knee into our chest. Abdomen towards the spine. And then we'll lift our left leg up and stretch it out at about hip height. And from the inner groin to the inner ankle, extend that left leg out. And it can begin to come down, but don't lose the length in the leg. Keep the back of the knee open. It doesn't need to come to the floor, but keep the left leg stretched straight. So don't bend the knee to take the foot down. Stretch the back of the knee and reach through the inner ankle as you reach that left leg away from you and towards the floor. But again, it doesn't have to go to the floor. And then bend the knee, place the foot on the floor, take the right leg down, place the right foot on the floor. And then bend the left knee, hug the left knee into your chest. See that you're balanced on your block. And then stretch that right leg out at hip height, really lengthening from the inner groin to the inner ankle. And stretch the leg so much that it starts to come down, reaching like you're gonna put the center of the back of the heel on the floor, but you're not gonna let that right knee bend. Really stretching across the front of the pelvis, stretching the inner groin as you reach the leg out. It's more about out than down. And then you can bend that knee and place the foot on the floor. Place the left foot on the floor. And now we're going to lift our hips up again into Chatushpadasana. And you're going to put the block on its highest height if you can. So the highest height underneath your pelvis, you can have the block widthwise. Give yourself as much space on the block as you can. So the hips are high. If it's too high, just come down to the middle height. But try to come to the highest height if you can. Open across the front of the pelvis and the abdomen. The torso is stretched. You're really on the tops of your shoulders now. And keep the right foot on the floor and bend the left knee. And just like you just did, extend that leg out, keeping the back of the knee open, stretch through the inner line of the leg. It may or may not come all the way down, but try to keep that left leg stretched straight. Really find the length as you take that leg out and the center of the back of the heel towards the floor. And then bend that knee and place the foot on the floor. And then bend the right knee. And again, stretch that right leg out from the inner groin to the inner heel, stretching the legs so far out that it begins to come down. Back of the knee is open, center of the back of the heel on the floor. Stretching that leg out. And then bend the right knee and place the foot on the floor. And then one more time, bend the left knee, stretch the left leg out straight and extend that leg out towards the foot as you open the back of the knee. And maybe the foot comes to the floor, center of the back of the heel on the floor. And then you can do it one leg at a time again, or you can stretch your right leg, same way. Stretch the right leg and lengthen so that both heels now are on the floor, toes up. Legs open, tops of the thighs down, chest lifted. And then I'm going to give you a choice since it's just us. You can either stay here and go into Viparita Karni if you want, with the legs up, and finish like this. Or if you'd like to come down and do Halasana and Sarvangasana, you can set up for that before Shavasana. So you can either stay here and just take the legs up and do Viparita Karani for a few minutes before Shavasana, or you can take the pelvis off the block, lower yourself down, and do Halasana and Sarvangasana. Or you can just do a gentle twist and lie down in Shavasana too, if you don't even want to set up for shoulder stand. So use all that lift in the chest to stay on top of your shoulders. All that work in the legs to move the buttocks forward and lengthen the tops of the buttocks towards the heels. Let the breath move easily in the body. In whichever position you're in, this is the restorative, the resting, the recovery pose from the back bends. So find a sense of ease and lightness in the pose. Try to find a softness in the diaphragm. Softness in the neck and throat. A softness in the face and jaw, the eyes. A softness in the abdomen. The pose should be steady and comfortable. There should be a sense of effortless effort. the breath be steady so the mind becomes steady. And there's a sense of consciousness spreading everywhere. Stay present with the breath. Stay present with your consciousness. So you're using this time efficiently to restore and recover. You're staying present. And if you're still in a pose, you're slowly, with attention, beginning to move out of the pose. You can take your time. Don't disturb yourself as you begin to come down. You can move slowly to begin to move into final resting pose. Staying calm, staying present. See that you're centered on your support, that you're expansive. There's no contraction or hardening at anywhere as you lengthen yourself onto your restorative support for Shavasana. See that the legs are evenly extended. They're equidistant away from the body. Back body is spread evenly on your support. The arms are externally rotated and the palms are up. Chest is still broad. The muscles of the throat and neck, and face and jaw continue to relax. The muscles of the eyes are relaxing and spreading from the inside out. The forehead is relaxed, the temples are relaxed. You're still maintaining some awareness of your breath. Just following the breath as it moves in and out. So begin to take a few deeper breaths. Gently drawing deeper breaths into the body. Softly waking the body up. And when you're ready, you can carefully open your eyes and rest your hands on your abdomen. And then bend the knees one at a time, placing the soles of the feet on the floor before slowly rolling over onto your right side and pausing there for a moment. And then carefully pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Just taking a few moments before the close of the class to notice how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. If that's changed since the beginning of the class. Back bends tend to be uplifting and expansive, empowering. And then we'll take our hands into Namaskar one more time in front of our hearts. Keeping the chest lifted, bow your head towards your hands, acknowledging the light that exists within each one of us. Namaste. Thank you guys for coming. Hope you have a wonderful Thursday evening and a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the spring flowers.
Thank you, Sarah. Wonderful. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
You too, Stephen.
Good luck with your planting. Goodbye, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Heather.
Bye.
Bye-bye, folks.
See you, Scott. Thanks.